Greetings YouTube, this is Toy Customizer Wakeangel2K1 bringing you the next step in the Sonic action figure lines. This is a figure from the year 2002, around the time that Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was released on GameCube. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle being of course a port of the Sonic Adventure 2 game on the Dreamcast, which was released in 2001 in America. Although the copyright date says 2000, so that must have been the Japanese release date. And for a while, I wasn't quite sure if I was going to include this because, technically speaking, these figures, produced by a company called Joyride Studios, there's the logo right there, were not actually available in store retail. They were advertised in gaming magazines like GamePro, as you can see right up there on the top. And you had to order them online. I think their price was $25? Not completely sure. But in the end, seeing as how this is the only action figure that was licensed for the Sonic Adventure 2 franchise, I figured I may as well include it, since this is actually one of the most valuable figures I have. At the time I got it was $25, but I think nowadays one of these that still has a viable box. I'm not sure if it's a mint in just with the box or a mint on blister pack offer, but they can go for over $100. Him and Shadow. There were two figures released in the series. Well, three. There was him, Shadow, and then an unpainted version. And you can see that it's still in the packaging because I wanted to show it off just a little bit. You can see other stuff that was being built, like they had Virtual Fighter 4 figures, Super Monkey Ball, advertisements to buy the game that it's based on, and it's even held closed with a little bit of Velcro. It opens up, and there's a ton of information about the game. There's actually a brief review on the Sonic Adventure game itself. I believe all of these scores are out of 10, not out of 10, out of 5. So it has a 4.5 graphics, 4.0 sound, 3.5 controls, and 4.0 fun. And then there's just information in here about the video game. You can get if I can move my camera in the right direction here. I'm not sure how well that's showing up, but it's this is the basic reviewer score. It has the rating, the numbers that I just read for you on the facing page. And it's all very nice information about Sonic Adventure 2. It seems like this action figure coming from a gaming magazine is really more concerned with selling the game that it's based off of rather than itself. Or maybe they just assumed, hey, you've already got the action figure, you're not reading this in the store because it was an online offer, so that means the only thing that's left for us to sell you is the game. Alright. So we have the packaging. At the time, I believe in 2002, I was about 18 years old, so I'm no little kid. And I wasn't 18, I was 17 years old, so I'm no little kid. I know how to take care of things. I know that things just might become collectible in the future, so it's best not to destroy the packaging. So what I did was I cut around the blister in a big bubble that would open up like a little clamshell so I could remove the contents inside and then put it back in there. So let's do just that and extricate what was for a time my definitive Sonic action figure. So there's the empty blister, and I'll just move that to the side. And we find that The packaging contained... Wait. There we go. The packaging contained the figure itself and a base. Let's talk about the base for a second. It says Sonic. It has the Sonic Adventure 2 logo on it. Has some movement arrows. That's nice. It's a base. Has a couple of pegs. Does base things. There. Okay, the figure. The figure is a bendy. You see, he has injection holes. He's made of two parts. One part is the body, and the other part is the head. The head has a swivel joint and can look around. The arms and legs have internal wires, which, a testament to my extreme care of the toy, have not snapped. So I can still pose him. And I'm not going to force him because this figure is like almost 11 years old and almost 10 years old, and I do not want to have preserved this figure for 10 years only to accidentally break it while showcasing it, especially when I'm showing off that I... What am I talking about? Okay, so this is Sonic the Hedgehog as he was in Sonic Adventure 2. In case you want a nice height comparison, it's 5 inches tall. It's a nice solid 5-inch figure. Let's see, what can I say about my lovely little bendy here? Okay, his shoes. He is wearing the soap shoes that Sonic is known for wearing only in Sonic Adventure 2. And one of 4 total pairs of shoes that Sonic has ever been depicted as wearing, not counting power-ups. I'm gonna have to list them, aren't I? The first one being the ordinary striped shoes that we remember from the first few Genesis games. The famous ones with the buckles, which he was given in Sonic CD, not Sonic Adventure, but famously recognized from Sonic Adventure, but technically going back to Sonic CD. The third one is these, the soap shoes, and the fourth one being the boots that he wore in Sonic Riders, which is kind of like these except without the soap arch. Why do I keep saying soap? It's because in 2000 there was this little fad going on with grind rails, and they made this shoe that had an arch built into the sole with a couple of rollers that would allow you to just jump up on handrails and go down as if you had a skateboard without actually needing a skateboard. They called them soap shoes, probably because they made you look slippery. I'm not sure if they really caught on. You'll find advertisements for them all over Sonic Adventure 2. That is... although when the City Escape level was reused for Sonic Generations game, a level which made so many homages, it didn't have any soap advertisements in it. I'm guessing that's because of licensing issues, or maybe because soap shoes aren't a thing anymore. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's... I remember I played through that level trying to find where was the soap advertisements. Instead they had references to the Chaotix, a wanted poster for Knack the Weasel, a missing persons notice for Ray and Mighty, which made me laugh so hard. Never mind. So, he wears soap shoes. They advertise soap shoes. Soap shoes aren't around anymore. This is a relic. Woo! Alright, so, are there any flaws to the figure? Well, aside from the fact that he is a bendy, and you're always going to be concerned about breaking him, by the way, he's made of very high quality rubber. I mean, 10 years, it has not gotten brittle, it has not gotten sticky, it's good rubber. I mean, a lot of times when you have figures made out of rubber, after a few years, the rubber will become brittle, and then it'll just like start to crack and shatter, or it'll get covered with this sticky film that makes you not want to touch it. But neither of those things happen to this figure, so good on that. Good quality rubber. Other than that, the only flaw is the expression they gave him. He's looking off to the left, so the figure only looks right from this angle. If you look at him head on, he's like, what are you looking at? What's over there? You know? This is because he was released in tandem with a Shadow figure, and it was intended that you would display them like he'd be looking over at Shadow, who would be on this side. And Shadow has forward-facing eyes. Perhaps I'll show you that figure at some future date, because I do have it. Alright, so what can you do with this figure? You could put him into some basic poses, nothing too extreme, because you don't want to snap wires. And that's where the display stand comes in. He has 4 holes in his feet. The first 2 holes are simply built into the center of his feet, which allow for, you know, a basic calm stance. But I really, based on the way that the eyes are made, I don't think that that was ever really intended. No, what you really want to do is utilize the stand in the... See, there's a hole on the front toe and on the back heel, and I'm trying to remember how this goes. Yeah, you go like that, and like, yeah, okay, I got it. Unfortunately, the one thing that happened to this is that one of the pegs broke halfway, but I think, yeah, something to this effect. And then you can position his arms, so it's meant for a display that resembles a running pose. And that's actually kind of cool, you know? The figure's primary... It doesn't come with much, but it comes with just enough to actually set up something of an action-oriented scene. Like, you have Sonic built into this platform, and then right next to it you'd have Shadow, and you can actually put it so that they're reenacting their little race fight from the final boss match. And that's kind of cool. So, the Sonic Adventure 2 figure, made by Joyride Studios, released in the year 2002, and available only through an online purchase, a website that's now defunct. So a good condition one of these commands extremely high prices on eBay or Amazon.com nowadays. But if you can find him, I would recommend him as a nice display piece, because one advantage of being a bendy is that there are no joints. This is the most seamless Sonic figure that exists. And probably looked like I was fondling him. I was just showing that there are no joints. See? No joints. All smooth. So, for a figure that you can pose, has no visible joints, but you gotta be careful not to break any internal wires, this is a wonderful display piece. He comes with a really nice looking stand. And, yeah, if you can find one for non-rate prices that doesn't have any snapped wires, go for it. This is a really, really good figure, and I kept him displayed up on top of my television set for years. I actually didn't take him off until Jazzwares started releasing their figures. So, yeah, this figure had a lot of staying power for me. I really loved it. It was my favorite and definitive Sonic figure for like 7 or 8 years. Good figure. Get him if you can. This is Toy Customizer Wakeangel 2001, signing out.